But if I decide to be gay, I got to be different than him because he was real. He was like the stereotypical gay man. I mean, really, you think I could be flamboyant? I mean, super duper duper flamboyant. Drugs and like I said. Remember we were talking in the beginning about stealing the credit cards and scamming and label whore. I mean, all of those stereotypical things. That was Tommy, and he bought on his last leg now. And so I definitely, you see those things, of course. Sending good vibrations his way, but I also was like, it also was a history marker in my head, like, I can't be like him.
Yeah, it was my uncle, but again, I had no connection to gay and like sex, romance. I do remember that he had a partner named Norman, and they always talked about him differently. And it seemed like, this seems like different. Like the way like they're posing together or in the picture reminds me of mom and dad kind of thing, but never really connected, the two. It was also, I had a older cousin, Stuart, who was about 10 years older than me. But we didn't really connect like that until I got much older. And then it was my other cousin, Michael, who, you know, he was discussed as being moody and all these other things, but I never heard the word gay in a positive light. I never heard anything good about it. I never heard anything. I never, no situation was ever explained as positive, and everything bad that happened around or to them, so either directly or indirectly was associated with the fact that they're, funny or whatever. And so that was just my only experience. I had no idea it had anything to do with like sexual orientation or anything like that because it was never explained to me. One thing is too, and on my father's side, I also had an uncle who we're pretty sure, was gay. And I think both of those to me are tragedies. One, because my uncle did so many things that I eventually would find myself doing. Like he was into art. He went to Rutgers University in New Jersey. He got a master's degree. He was into, organizing and activism and all of that. He lived a lot of experiences, all of those types of things. And, you know, because of the homophobia and the issues in my own family that I had to unpeel later, we weren't really allowed to connect. And for a while, it made me very angry because it was like my life was hell growing up, like a slow burning, quiet kind of hell. And there was somebody who literally was a few blocks away, because everybody is a few blocks away in Asbury Park. There was somebody who was a 15-minute walk up the road who understood what I was going through and could have been a resource for me, a place of peace for me that could have helped me, could have steered me. And that was not allowed to happen because of homophobia. And that really burned me up because it was just like, it was like, there is one person that maybe could have alleviated some of this, and stuff was done to actively keep me away from him. So like, for example, when I was in sixth grade, I had art. And so I got put in his class. He didn't treat me any different because I was his nephew, you know what I mean? So doing all the same assignments and everything. Then my mom pulled me out because she didn't want me to be bothered because of the being teased or whatever. And of course I was feeling know what happened. I was just kind of what's going on? What's happening? And I mean, they were beefing too in their own ways. Like at some point my uncle said that he called my mom a and, he said he apologized. And I said, well, why? Why did you do that? I was like, when you told me the story, I was like, no, she deserved that. I'm so sorry. Like if the story, the way you're piecing together the story is any type of true, I don't see how, I don't really like gendered insults like that, targeted that way per se, but, you could have called her something.